Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to a congested and what's the word I'm looking for? Virally infected edition of the Voices of the Voiceless podcast. I'm sick, so expect a lot of sniffles throughout the podcast. If you don't want to listen, then fuck yourself. I don't care. Do what you want to
do. I'm excellent. I'm actually great, and
of course.
These nuts?
Yeah.
What about these nuts?
Okay. We got a lot to talk about.
What about these nuts, though? Why'd you do that?
I don't know, because I can, I guess.
Oh, whatever. So, yeah, a lot of things happened in the past week. Whether they were good or bad, things happen. And I have nothing creative. Seriously, my mind's gone. I'm probably not going to go into work tomorrow. Well, I guess today. Because I'm going to be a good human and a good coworker and not get everyone else sick. Unless the hand of Vince McMahon toucheth my backside to make me feel better.
What? But at least the show goes on and you are doing the podcast.
Yeah, let's not rub that into my bosses, okay?
You have listeners, they rely on you to put me over every week.
To be fair, I'm recording this Thursday night. I worked my full 9 hours, 8 hours. Okay, so I'm scheduled for 9, but I work 8 because I don't take a lunch. So I did work my full shift today. No, and I didn't bitch. So I deserve this. I deserve to record the night I work, as long as I wasn't recording the day that I didn't go in. We're all winners here, except for Gary. He's an asshole because in the tweet of the in our agenda, he usually puts on the tweet of the week. Fuck. What are we supposed to do?
Surprise, motherfucker!
I mean, okay.
Okay.
What's going on?
Right. So, the tweet of the week is Stephanie McMahon.
Of course.
In particular...
Wait. You know, today was National Send the Nude Day?
I did, and I'm glad no one slid into my DMs.
If Stephanie...
As they would
Never
say.
mind. I wouldn't mind if some people partook in the festivities. Like you, Brad. You should have.
Stephanie says, it's arguable that the slap is my character's finishing maneuver. What do you think was hit the worst? Who do you think was hit the worst? Hashtag Steph book, because she's selling this shitty book. This accompanies a 20-second video of her slapping Roman Reigns repeatedly, who's supposed to be their top guy, their top face. And I'm going to read you Dave Batista's quote. He quoted her tweet and commented, and then I'm going to get back to my bitching about Stephanie's tweet. But Dave Batista says, plus it helps get guys over. Straight face emoticon. I know you like that. And it builds a great angle when you get a receipt. Embarrassed face emoticon. It looks good. Upset face emoticon. I tried. Frown face emoticon. You know, and Batista nailed it. It's what I've been saying on this podcast all along. She constantly, she slaps these males in the face. She emasculates them. There's never a payoff or a receipt. And in this particular case, she actually shows a video of her slapping and humiliating and emasculating the very guy they're supposed to be trying to get over as their top guy in the company. And by the way, her character, a slap is a finishing maneuver. That didn't even make any sense. The whole thing was so stupid. And it just shows how out of touch she is.
She was a baseball punch.
No way Jose Canseco. Maybe he's a baseball player.
No way Jose is do what he wants. Yeah. But does Stephanie enjoy breaking kayfabe? Does she think she's What about balls?
Yeah, she breaks spirits.
Well, it's. I mean, I don't know. Because
Nobody knows
it's
how to
not.
handle her.
Well, no. I mean that seriously. Like, and her outside persona get in the way of her on screen, and it's the TV show, right? That has social culture ramifications. So why ruin that?
Dude, she's totally clueless. I mean, that's obvious. I think the WWE is not in great hands if she ends up running the company. I think that's just obvious. And she's, she's doing this entire marketing campaign to push her shitty little book that's coming out in September. I'm not going to read it. It's not going to be juicy. It's not going to tell a lot of truths that wrestling fans are like. This is simply a business executive portfolio. I mean, this is put another notch on her resume. This has, this is to continue to build her profile. Nothing more, nothing less. I have no desire to read the book. But, John, what are your thoughts on what Batista said? And do you think that this hurts his chances to ever return?
I don't think he cares. Well,
yeah,
I don't. I mean, he'll get a Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
He's acting, and he's pretty good at it. He has Guardians of the Galaxy on his back, 2 episodes or 2 movies, which will get him notoriety. Nonetheless, he has Blade 2. He's going to work on. I don't think he wants to come back. I don't think he has any interest in coming back. So why? Who cares? Truthfully, who cares?
Yeah, I think at this point it's pretty clear he's probably not coming back, and he clearly doesn't give a fuck.
And why would you? He's making more money now than he made in WWE. So what's the big deal?
Yep, exactly. And good for him. We wanted to talk about our WWE live event experience in Raleigh over the weekend. Thought it was a good show overall, but I wanted to kind of break down match by match, John, and maybe we could share our thoughts of some of the things that we saw being there in person. So very up close and personal. We were very close to the ring. And it allowed us to see a lot of things.
About how tall they were, how many wore lips in their shoes. What you talked about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
No, but okay, so let's break this down.
All right, I'm waiting.
So Dolph Ziggler defeated Baron Corbin in the opener. What did you think about the match? Oh, of course I was pissed. The wrong guy won.
Well, it was
No, it was a good match. It was a good match. Ziggler got a good reaction. I thought Baron did a nice job with his heel work, and I enjoyed it. I just thought the wrong guy won. But, Baron did offense that, maybe people further back didn't see, because I saw a lot of inaccurate news reports about it. What did you think?
Shane?
What?
Hold on. You said you promised you were going to rant on the wrestling news sites. I'm waiting for that.
Well, I'm going to get to that at the end.
Okay. Well, the Ziggler and Corbin, I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. They came out, they had a good match, and Corbin looked at you and retweeted. And what? He favorited your tweet or retweeted you?
He did look at me. He did like my tweet. He did definitely notice me. Of course, I was the big white guy standing in the 5th row by ringside, standing up over everybody else and yelling and screaming like a madman.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, rate my marking out 1 to 5. 5 being the most mark out and 1 being no reaction.
25.
Yeah, it was a 25 legitimately.
It was the equivalent of a 7'4" wrestler claiming he was only 7 foot.
It was a huge mark out.
It was just like me and Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn. That was good. It was good. No, it was a decent match. Yeah. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I would have booked Corbin, but aside from the 2 title matches, every babyface won that night.
Yeah, and house shows they do typically win, so it is what it is. But yeah, Apollo Crews and Stardust was a pretty decent match. I think Apollo Crews is still green, but I think he really was great with the fans. After the match, and he did he hugged the guy in the front row with the Bailey T-shirt. He gave him a hug, and
Awesome.
yeah, and of course Stardust during his heel heat, he was pretending to hug the guy, but then would turn around and run off and do his little weird Stardust stuff.
He was great. Stardust was very good.
Cody was great as Stardust in this. His mannerisms, his facial expressions, his timing, his heel heat work with the crowd. The guy is so talented. I just hope he comes back as Cody, but yeah, he was very good. He came off here much better in person, up close and personal, than he does on TV even.
Because he's probably restricted on TV. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. Big Cass and Devon. This was a pretty standard match with Big Cass defeating Devon. Now, Bubba Ray was in the corner. What I noticed here, the big thing was that Bubba Ray Dudley did indeed bleed.
It wasn't very noticeable, though, on Raw, because nothing would have healed from bleeding profusely that fast. So it must have been like a quick cut. It was his glasses. It wasn't Big Cass working the move too stiff. It was
it was absolutely a planned spot. Bubba Ray had the sunglasses on his head. Before he went to take the boot, you could see he tipped his sunglasses down so that he could take the glass. It was a plan. He drew blood intentionally, and so it was kind of cool to see. I did not expect that, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But you look over and you see him with the glasses smashed and he's bleeding from his face. That was kind of cool to see because you don't see it.
Well, I'm sure that was their idea, too. I mean, why would Vince ever come up with something that good?
Oh, yeah. There's no way. Yeah, it was definitely.
It made Cass look strong. Grr.
Yeah. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. This was a very good match.
Highlight of the night for me.
As far as in-ring work, yes. It was the match of the night.
Easily.
I thought Kevin Owens came off so good here as a heel with working the audience.
Well, he's the master. He's as good as Cena is, and that's a huge compliment.
He was very good at working the audience here. He got into it with fans, got in their face, got on the mic, got out of the ring to get on the mic and berate the fans. I mean, and they bought into it. It was very good work here, and Sami picked up the win in a very good match.
And there's rumors of a really huge push for Kevin Owens later this year, so I wonder what that means.
It's a good question. One thing I'll say is Kevin Owens is not very tall. He's probably 5'9"-ish.
Oh no, he's not. He's at least 5'11". Kevin,
absolutely not.
He's not as tall as me. And I'm 5'9". There's no way. Absolutely no way.
No, he was about 5'9". It was incredible. Okay. Charlotte defeated Natalya.
Google.
That's John.
Google. No. Google has him at 6 foot. Not Wikipedia, not WWE.com. Google has him in at 6 foot.
Okay. He was not close to 6 feet tall.
Yes,
Let's be honest.
Because Sammy's what, 5'10", 5'11"?
Yeah. No. If you think Kevin Owens is legitimately 6 foot tall, you need to reassess your opinion.
Never.
What do you think of Charlotte and Natalya?
It was phenomenal, actually. If it weren't for Kevin and what's his dick, Sammy. Yeah, I'm loopy. One of it. If it wasn't for Kevin and Sammy, this was match of the night for sure, man. I thought it was really good, and how they were able to, as you say, work the crowd and a couple great moves. What was interesting, though, is that Ric Flair was not at the show.
Yeah, there was no Ric Flair. but this was still, I mean, it was hard to follow Owens and Zayn, but this was a good match. And they did a good job, as you said, working the crowd. The fans mostly wanted Natty. Of course, they liked the, Charlotte, the whole hometown gimmick.
Sure.
So they kind of like Charlotte, but she played the heel pretty well. And the match, the highlight of the match to me was this. And in this show, by the way, all titles were on the line, right? Because it adds potential for excitement on the house shows.
Sure.
But there was a legitimate moment where there was just a near pinfall that absolutely popped everybody, where you thought Natalya just won the championship.
Keeps everyone on their toes.
She hit the power bomb. She pinned her, and it had to be a 2 7/8. I mean, it was incredible.
And that's the whole moniker of anything can happen that NXT started.
Yep, absolutely. Then we had defeat Cesaro and Sheamus, and I'll get more into this later. But this was a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. What did you think of the Miz's work here?
Also spectacular. He's really been on his game lately. And I don't know where it's come from. I guess he's getting a lot more in the back from Maurice, who probably made her way around the locker room, so she knows it very well. But I think it's one of those things when the Miz wants to have a lasting reputation. I don't see him in the WWE much longer. I give him 3 more years in the company and he retires, because he's not a bad actor. Truthfully, he's all right. He can make himself last, and he can get a couple small movie spots, like a Batista, but more of a personality. Yeah, really.
I mean, absolutely. The thing that stuck out to me is Miz is really doing great work right now with Maurice ever since she returned. I think he's been an excellent heel. He's one of the top heels in the company. Absolutely. No question about that whatsoever. And frankly, I thought he looked in much better shape than he does on TV.
Agreed.
I mean, he's got he's got a great look, and I mean a great look, and he is, he's got a great build, great in shape, and he knows how to work the crowd. He was doing that well. He played the chicken shit heel, and he worked the crowd, and he kissed Maurice, and he looked over at the fans in the front row and said, "You wish."
Yep.
Just things like that. The whole time, it was like you wanted to see Cesaro or even Sheamus get their hands on the Miz and kick his ass.
I wanted it to happen, but yeah.
The one thing I'll say, Sheamus was all right. Sheamus is, a big guy, obviously, in real life, as you saw up close. He's a very big guy. Cesaro is tall. But the one thing that stood out to me is Cesaro did not have a lot of charisma. But if you picked up on that.
I mean, I did. I thought he did. But then again, no, he's not like a Cena guy or a Sami Zayn, or he's not. He has a different kind of charisma, in my opinion. I mean, he's not a true baby face, like a white meat baby face. He's more complex.
Yeah. Now we had our main event.
It doesn't even need to be talked about.
And let me tell you, John, you were so pissed about this. It was great. And by the way, I was too. In both of us, we gave them exactly what they deserved as far as the response. Now, Gallows and Anderson, I like. I shouted at them, "Good brothers," and whatever, and that Anderson got a little grin on his face when he looked over at me. That was the MLW podcast deal they got going on before they signed with WWE.
And I yelled Chris Benoit.
You did, much to the chagrin of the person in front of you. I think you got a couple of dirty looks. It was funny.
Or fuck her.
And then I yelled.
It was
at the start of the match.
Giggled and played with his dick the whole time. It was dumb.
He did. That's why. I mean, I yelled at the very beginning of the match, and John, I think you'll back me up that I yelled it very loudly. that I said, all right, guys, let's go. It's time to put Roman over strong.
Yep. I said it too.
I said it very, yep. I mean, and they all clearly heard it. And frankly, Roman looked like he was bothered by it because one of the Usos started to talk to him and seemed like almost console him over it. Like he is legitimately getting bothered by this stuff. There's not some backstage stuff going on where if they're kind of reconsidering this agenda. I mean, this was like, it was, I don't know. I mean, are they finally thinking, could this be a failed experiment? I mean, you take a look at this and he's supposed to be the top guy in the company. And it's like you said, he stayed on the apron almost the entire match until the end. He fucked around. He looked around. He played with his face. He played with his hair. He talked and joked with the Usos. And then he came in and he did his few spots and won the match and got the pin.
He's the Lex Luger, not the Hulk Hogan.
He couldn't lace Hulk Hogan's fucking boots if he tried.
And Hogan wasn't a good wrestler. He was awful. Good entertainer. There's a difference.
And what Roman has to do is not just the in-ring, the mat technician stuff, right? There's more to being a star than being a good mat technician. You have to have the larger-than-life mass appeal, the star quality, the it factor. It's just not working as the top face. He's and they're continuing to push him in that regard. And he got a lot of, even on this house show where there was plenty of children and women, I think you would say, he still got mixed reactions, a lot of boos. He got a lot of, Roman sucks. Definitely not an overwhelming positive reaction.
Well, no, and someone even tweeted at me. I forget who it was. Some idiot that likes the Shining Stars. And I tweeted, I'm like, he can't even get over in a Twitter poll or a Twitter feed. There's a backstory. And this guy's like, "What do you mean, brother? He's over in every show in the country." And like, okay. No, he's not. He's not over at all. For the reaction, and he gets a face palm every time he comes out. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
He got a lot of boos when he came out. Yeah, he definitely did.
No.
Yep. So yeah, overall,
they pulled the rug out of.
Yep. Well,
yeah. What? Yeah, you're really feeding into the whole technical complications gimmick. You're really putting me over here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to get away from a technical difficulty. Just FYI.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I thought. Oh, by the way, I told you that Apollo Crews was short.
He's about 5'10".
He looks about 5'8".
He's not 5'8". He's taller than me.
I think you're on drugs. He was short. Okay.
I might be.
Yeah. All right. Overall thoughts on the show. What were your overall thoughts on the show as a house show experience?
I enjoyed my time a lot. That was my fourth, if you include NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the water. But I really did. My favorite wrestlers were there. The other show in Virginia was fucking terrible, so I'm glad I didn't go to that one.
I mean, they're running two shows that night. One in Virginia, one in Raleigh, North Carolina, and the one in Virginia, I saw the card and I shared it with you. Man, that looked fucking terrible, except for like maybe one match or two. I mean, it was absolutely. I wouldn't. I honestly, I don't think I would have even gone to go see that.
Yeah, me neither. Not with that card. So take us into Monday Night Raw. Yeah, Bradley, get it started.
Well, before I start on Monday Night Raw, and I'll start off with that, but I just want to say I enjoyed the show overall. There's something cool about the house show experience where they don't have the anal retentiveness, the micromanagement, all of the restrictions and time limits of the TV environment, like on a live TV example. So I really enjoy the house experience for what it is, the house show, live event, whatever you want to call it. But I just want to say real quick to these wrestling news sites with a Z, news, because that's what these sites are. When you can't even report live event results correctly, and even when you follow me on Twitter and I am live tweeting the results and you still fuck it up, you're not even trying. You know what you're doing? You're doing Control C, Control V, and you are a fucking moron. You nerd. Mind of Carnage, Wrestling Inc., Wrestling News, and probably 20 fucking other dorks with a pencil over the ear pimping out a wrestling news site, okay, all had the Miz defeating Cesaro in a singles match on WWE Raleigh. Well, that's amazing to me because I was there and I saw a triple threat match between Cesaro and Sheamus. There was no singles match. All they had to do was do a little checking. It's called search hashtag WWE Raleigh and look at the people live tweeting the event. Hey, by the way, could you tell me who won this match? Maybe I'll verify this with more than one source. What the card was presented as is, as John knows, it was presented as Miz versus Cesaro in a singles match. That's how it was advertised.
Yes.
That's not what it was. Card subject to change. So they took this presented and just asked for the winners and fucking reported it that way without any verification. And then you wonder why people don't take your website seriously. News site. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, these people should be ashamed. It's stupid.
Well, okay, let's go.
And they didn't correct it. They didn't correct it.
They don't care. They don't care at all.
They don't care. They don't care.
So,
all right, Raw hitter.
Yeah, go ahead. Kevin Owens and The Miz on the commentary match between Sami Zayn and Cesaro. Go.
I thought for me, this was not just a hit, a home run. Kevin Owens and The Miz back and forth on the mic together on commentary. I thought it was gold. I loved it. The chance for these two guys who are both very good at that kind of thing to joust back and forth. And how bad Raw commentary is already. I thought this was refreshing, entertaining, and I would frankly love to see more of it. These two, it was really good.
You stole all the words. No, it was phenomenal. Really was. I mean, whenever you get those two guys together, it's all four really. It's like it's a spectacle to see, and I mean, Owens and Zayn stole the show. They always do, with their tagging and everything. And when Shane and Stephanie came out and made the tag match, I thought it was an excellent segment overall. It was perfect.
Yeah, Owen said Miz is the worst person in the match. And Miz says, I've been here 14 years. I'm 5-time Intercontinental Championship, WrestleMania main event, blah, blah, blah. It was a lot of heated back and forth. It was great. So definite big hit for me.
Me too.
Miz and Owens, both great. All right, so the debut of the Shining Stars. John, I know you've been... Oh, did you have something to say?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
That's all.
All right. The debut of Shining Stars.
I got blocked for saying their debut was garbage.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, by some mark with a Twitter account.
Oh well.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Oh well, who cares?
I mean, your name of your team is the Shining Stars. Your finisher is the Shining Star. The ring is the island. Your opponents are the tourists. How stupid is this fucking gimmick? Oh my god.
It's horrible.
It's
Would it make it
terrible.
better if Carlito came back? Would you like it?
They would have to change the gimmick. I mean, this is like they spent months and probably hundreds of thousands of dollars shooting vignettes on this stupid shit. I mean, it's like this is the best they could come up with. They'd have been better off just to put them in plain tights and say they're Primo and Epico.
Do you know who came up with the gimmick?
I don't know who came up with the gimmick, but they're a goddamn idiot.
It was Dewey Foley.
To be kidding me.
I am, but I. What if I was serious?
No, it probably was him.
It was in his blog.
Oh, my God. Yeah, his blog of terrible ideas.
It is. It's like the what was it called? The school of the school of silly walks. But it's his blog of really bad ideas.
Really, really bad ideas. It's a miracle they hired this guy. It was only because of Mick Foley.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that was the Shining Stars. So what did you think about the Ambrose Asylum?
What?
What did you think about the Ambrose Asylum? The big reveal of the Ambrose Asylum structure.
Yeah, so talk to me about it.
Yeah, so for me, I thought this was more wacky Dean. Look, Dean Ambrose, when he's more of a serious character, is great. He's one of the top guys. He's outstanding. They can do so much with them, draw money. They've turned him into wacky Dean. He's goofy, wacky, crazy Dean in a very cheesy, corny kind of way, and he reveals this Ambrose Asylum structure of...
I liked it.
It's just like a straitjacket and a fire extinguisher and a bucket and just really, really corny ass stuff. And
but see, give it like with the music behind it and the promo. I thought it was phenomenal.
I just thought it was so corny. It's more wacky Dean. Look, his delivery was very good. He's just getting terrible material, and it's like they keep trying to book him like wacky Dean, and I just hate it. They need to make this guy have more of an edge, make him more serious. For you, it was a miss for me.
All
right,
Holy
while you're
shit.
coughing up a lung. Okay.
I don't even smoke. Holy shit.
Well, maybe you should try.
I'm okay. I'm good.
Someone told Becky Lynch that she does a great job, and apparently she took that literally in her matches lately. Oh,
I love
Gary.
Becky. Shut up. No, fuck yourself. We're not talking about this. So we're going to go to the New Day. They went back in time. The best part about this segment, hold on. Let me find a clip. Best part, easily. You hear them jobbing. Yeah. That New Day segment was fucking brilliant. It was almost on the edge of too corny. It was perfect. It was so fucking funny.
I pretty much enjoyed it. It was a hit for me. Like you said, it was kind of like on the borderline of corny. I think the audience, when they did the Time Machine and the Vaudevillains, they were imitating them. Of course, there's no black and white screen live, so the audience live didn't really know how to take it. But it was all right. But they've got to stop writing stuff that's for children. That's too corny. I think they need to, they just have to be careful. But overall, I really loved the New Day, and I thought it was a hit. And we'll see what happens.
Moving on to your favorite tag team, the Usos.
Oh, boy. And they defeat Gallows and Anderson again. And, it's like Gallows and Anderson are now 3-4 on TV, WWE. They're less than a 500 record, including 4 losses in a row on TV. How on earth can you have these guys built up as main eventers of Zack Ryder? This was a huge miss for me. This was a huge miss. The Usos suck. They are boring. They have no character. They do the same shit. They're the same over-marketed gimmick that just like John Cena that nobody likes.
Hey, I like
unless you're a 5-year-old. You're a 5-year-old kid then. Don't lie.
That's one thing I am not.
I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Gallows and Anderson should have been indestructible at this point. They should have been booked much stronger going into these matches. And frankly, the Usos didn't need to face Gallows and Anderson yet. Keep them apart. Have them face other people. Who cares? And beat them. Jesus Christ, this isn't rocket science.
Well, no, but that's who you're dealing with, idiots.
Yeah, these pencil behind the ear fucking morons. Contract signing is the main event.
Yeah, I actually like this.
I thought it was a miss for me.
See, I really enjoyed it.
I didn't think it had any place in the main event.
What didn't you like?
No, I don't think it had any place being a main event of a Raw show. I think that's something that belonged definitely not in the second hour end, not in the third hour end. I mean, let's face it, the second hour end is their main event now. That's what they're doing. They realize nobody's going to watch hour 3. So they just do their main events at the end of the second hour now and give you whatever in the third hour. And that's really what it amounts to. But even then, I don't think it warrants the main event segment at the final hour of Monday Night Raw. It just wasn't there for me. And even more so, Stephanie McMahon slapping Ric Flair. I absolutely hated this.
I know. I bet you did.
It sucked. I hated it. Not a fan at all.
I knew
that. What is the point of it?
Nothing.
I think this broad gets off on it. I mean, what other reason does she smack men on the roster so frequently?
I can't answer that for you, Brad. I can't.
It's just not realistic. It's just not realistic.
It's her finishing move, bro.
Yeah, and then Charlotte sits there, and she has no reaction immediately, and then she looks upset and doesn't do anything. Let me tell you, if someone smacks the shit out of your father, you're going to have a very negative and probably violent reaction. Not say, la, 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 okay. That wasn't very nice. No. You're going to get in their face. You may smack them back. You may do worse. You gotta at least have a little more realism in this, and you gotta have Stephanie stop fucking slapping people. Please have her stop slapping
Not gonna
people.
happen.
Okay, then maybe they should slap her back.
Can't do that.
Who cares?
I'll just tell you how it is, man. Trying to tell you how it is. Raw. A, good, not good.
Overall, yeah. I mean, overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. It has, again, it has its serious flaws from a continuity and booking standpoint. And you just kind of have to overlook all of that to enjoy the show. And I do. Well,
let's ask one person of a part of Raw. So, and that's Kalisto. I'm sure you'll love that. So there's Kalisto again, but not only that. Brad, have a big one of them. Do you want to talk about that before we go into the weekly run-in this week?
Not really.
Okay, that's how I'll be. Here's Dina and Petra. Okay. What the fuck? This is bullshit right here. I'm gonna get. Yes, no, we don't. You're right. Where the fuck did it go? So wait, okay, there. I gotta go to my trash. Got it.
My weekly run-in on D9 and Peach. Hey Brad, I've got an idea for how to put Kalisto away from the U.S. title. Put him in the ring with anybody. Anybody should be able to defeat him. He is not believable as a champion. Him, Rey Mysterio, the whole type of a super small guy beating a big guy makes zero sense. Have some degree of believability. Put him in the ring with anybody and take the title off of him. Now, my topic for my run-in this week, injuries. Emma, God bless us. I was really hopeful with her heel run. Maybe sparing something with Dana Brooke. Back injury, and she's just the latest in a long list. Cena, Orton, Rollins. It's unfortunate. But there's one good thing is that other stars can rise from it. And I mean, there is that, but still, there's nothing down in my head. Is there anything that WWE can do to combat the injuries? And I don't know that there is. And I'm interested to hear what Jon and Brad think of this, because to come up with that might even help a little bit is an off season. The WWE doesn't have one. Every major sport has an off season. And as much as, we all know that the outcomes are predetermined, these guys put their bodies to hell. And maybe if there was a couple months, and I don't know when it would be, and I do understand that there's 5 hours of television on USA Network every week to fill. So there are obstacles in the way of a WWE off season. And there's no guarantee, of course, that you wouldn't get injured during the season. But at least these guys would be able to, and girls would be able to have some maintenance, put some maintenance on their bodies, get some rest, and kind of rebuild up and work out and take better care of their bodies for the long run. But outside of that, there's nothing else I don't think you can do about injuries. It's an unfortunate part of it, but you just got to be able to be smart to book around it, and then really smart about booking when they come back. I'm D9 Petro. That's the weekly run-in.
I don't think you can have an off season, but it is possible to get rid of every house show except for one. That's what I would do, because that's really the only logical thing you can do at this point.
Yeah, I don't ever foresee it an off season in WWE for a lot of reasons. I mean, first of all, they're a publicly traded company, and you've got stockholders and profits at stake. The less house shows you do, the less money you make, the more your stock goes down, investors lose confidence, etc. It's just got a whole big, publicly traded company appeal. It's too tight around that. So that it's not going to happen. Would it help? Absolutely. What's something more feasible you can do that would help? Number one, don't face Seth Rollins, as we all know.
Shut up.
Number two, though, in all seriousness, how about we alter the in-ring working style? How about we slow it down a bit? Yeah, how about we slow it down and tell a story rather than a bunch of spots where we can tumble around, like Vince Russo would say.
Well,
Tell a story. Make it a realistic fight.
A flippity do.
Yeah, I mean that's one feasible thing I think they can do, and they don't do it. The guys have to take care of themselves, and it's a tough balance. You want to get over, and the high spot's going to get the pop, and you're trying to make it amongst a bunch of other guys, but you have to take care of yourself. I've said it before. Your body is your moneymaker. When you're injured and you're out because of that stuff, you don't make money. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's feasible as far as, I thought Dean made some great points. The Kalisto stuff is right on the money. I agree with him completely about that. And I mean, they got to take the title off him. And,
he's garbage.
It's just, it's getting a little silly. But another great run in by Dean. So we hope you guys enjoy this every week, and I know Dean is enjoying doing it.
I mean, I hope so. He hasn't said otherwise. So, okay. So progressively, I'm feeling worse, than I was when I started. So we're gonna get through this quickly, everybody. It's more important than you deal with it. A couple interesting notes. Charlotte will make her 11th straight WWE pay-per-view appearance in Extreme Rules, a new record for women.
Yeah, she's the face of the division.
Astute analysis, Brad. Thank you. I appreciate that.
See, I'm giving you short statements so you can move on, so we can get this done quicker for your health. I care.
Aw, thank you. Ugh, God, I feel like death. Holy shit!
All right, Emma successfully. I'll say it. Emma successfully underwent back surgery for a ruptured disc. This is obviously poor timing, as she was just getting in an angle on Raw with Dana Brooke, who debuted from NXT. They were going to be partners, and the rumor was that Paige was going to be involved with this as well.
But guess who is now?
But now Paige is more focused than Alberto Del Rio.
Hold on. That might take the place. Emma.
Eva Marie.
What the fuck is this shit? That's not Eva Marie's theme song. What the fuck? That's not it either. Like, it's... Hold on. Close enough.
That's the Total Divas theme music.
I said close enough. I'm gonna bring my be on Raw again. Y'all read everything, baby.
Okay, so John Cena admits he's only 70%, but he'll be returning to WWE TV Memorial Day. Now, for me, this presents a bigger picture problem with WWE. First of all, you can obviously speculate how he's returning so quickly. Were there any special prescriptions involved? But at the end of the day, a guy who's 70% should not be returning to action in a full capacity. Hopefully that's not the case. This is how you get injured even worse. Especially as you get in your late 30s like John is. I mean, the injury is going to start to pile up more. And, he's got to take care of himself, relying on him to do everything anymore.
Hey, that's a good thing, though, right? Because he's not going to be here full time in 5 years.
Well, let's hope not. But I don't know. He says he wants to wrestle as long as he can.
That might be another 3 or 4 years.
Well, let's hope not. WWE released announcer Alex Reyes from NXT, and I gotta say, a male announcer in WWE, time for you.
Wish Tom a happy birthday.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure to wish Tom Phillips a happy birthday, or you're next. And the rumor, supposedly, with Alex and these other guys, is
Kyle and
yeah, is that they were marks. They were, true fans of wrestling, growing up wrestling fans, and the WWE didn't like that.
why not?
It's like WWE. Could you be a true mark for the product, a true fan? And then that's actually something they use against you. It's just so stupid.
I really do.
Yeah.
Sucks for me.
May 18th marks the 14th anniversary of the passing of the British Bulldog, Davy Boy Smith, who was one of the greats in our industry. It's someone I grew up watching. SummerSlam 92 in Wembley Stadium, where he won the Intercontinental Championship as a single star. Of course, he was also known as being one half of the British Bulldogs with the Dynamite Kid. They were a very big tag team back in the day as well in WWF. He's held every major title except the actual World Heavyweight Championship. So it's very sad. He was 39 when he died of a heart attack. It was very, very sad.
Yeah.
But a little interesting, quirky side note was David Boy Smith. David Boy Smith. Davy Boy Smith was actually a play on his real name. His middle name was Boy because his middle name was a result of one of his parents' gender field for the middle name field on his birth certificate. That's how he ended up with the middle name Boy. Pretty fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. So just a little note there, but it's always sad to see, these guys that you grew up watching, and you see these anniversaries come up where, and it's just sad.
In peace. So, all
right, and finally, finally we have our Extreme Rules predictions. And if you're listening to this before Sunday, we'll obviously you don't know, but if you're listening to this after Sunday night, you'll know whether we were right or wrong. So I'm going to go ahead the kickoff show. And by the way, this should not be in the kickoff. Put Rusev and Kalisto on the kickoff. Put whatever. I don't care. Put anybody else in the kickoff. Don't put Baron Corbin and Ziggler in the kickoff. But anyway, it's a no DQ match. I'm going with Baron Corbin here. I think he has to win. They have to make him look strong. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Now, Kevin Nash just did a podcast with Wade Keller, PW Torch live interview, and Kevin Nash actually put over Baron Corbin as one of the characters on Raw that he likes. He said he's got a great look, an athletic sports background. He's a tall, big guy, presence, and so he put him over, along with Enzo and Cass as well. I think he's a star in the making. Anyway, Corbin over Ziggler, it's the only option that makes sense at this point.
Yep. But you keep stealing my words. And no, that's not. The Sparkins I can barely breathe. But Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Great. Women's Championship, Charlotte versus Natalya. And the stipulation here is if Ric Flair interferes, then Charlotte loses the match.
Charlotte by a landslide.
I'm going to pick Charlotte. I think she wins, and she doesn't need Ric Flair's help, and this is going to play into her turning on her father, possibly.
Yep. It'll all lead into the Sasha Banks for SummerSlam, so Charlotte's not going to lose.
Yep. We got a tornado tag match just recently announced, the Usos versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And if you don't have Gallows and Anderson win, I'm going to pick them. If you don't have them win this, you might as well just give them their pink slip and send them back to fucking Japan.
I agree, because they're 3-4. So if they win, they'll be 4-4, 50-50 booking.
Yep. Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way match: The Miz versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. And this is a tricky one. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do here. There's a lot of different angles they can do. I'm going to go with they keep the title on The Miz, but I could very well see a Kevin Owens winning. But more likely Kevin Owens if someone's going to win. But I'm going to pick The Miz, but I think it's up in the air.
I have KO with a by Sammy, and have Sammy win it at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think that's something they may do at SummerSlam. I think it's just a tad early, but we'll see. Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho in the first ever WWE Asylum match. I'm going to go with Wacky Dean here.
Wacky Dean.
Oh, boy. If Chris Jericho wins this fucking feud, I mean, they got it. This feud has gone on too long, I have to be honest with you, and I don't want to see any more matches. I'm going to go with Dean. If Chris wins, it's just like, go back to, heavy metal concerts, because no one wants to see that shit.
Okay. Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles.
I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. I don't think there's even a 1% chance AJ Styles wins.
Debut?
I think it's definitely possible. They've set up the Extreme Rules stipulation so that you can interfere. So I think this leaves the door open definitely for Finn Balor to debut, for Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows to turn on AJ Styles. It is a definite possibility here. However, I am not predicting anything in that regards again. So there you go.
Good decision. The U.S. title match, Rusev Kalisto.
I'm going to go with Kalisto here. I think he should absolutely get squashed, but I think he's going to win.
I have Kalisto too. It's fucking bullshit. Rusev should win it though, and have seen it. What?
I was just going to say, of course Rusev should win it. I mean, Kalisto's like 5'2", 5 foot tall, 140 pounds, maybe 130. This is a joke. Let's be honest here. Once in a while, he could pull off a huge upset win, but to sit there and have a title reign. Did you ever see Rey Mysterio's championship reign? He lost constantly. This is like the opposite of that. Kalisto keeps beating big guys, and it's ridiculous.
Last but not least, you have the Vaudevillains against the New Day.
I'm going to go with the New Day, but I think the Vaudevillains have an outside chance to win.
See, Enzo was close to coming back. Why not have Vaudevillains go for the pin? Enzo and Cass interfere when contenders match.
That could happen. I mean, I see the Vaudevillains could win as an outside chance because it's just something to freshen up the division. That's really the only reason they would win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I just hope they integrate Enzo's ready to come back.
I hope they don't rush it.
No, don't rush it is exactly right. That would be the worst thing they could possibly do. But anyway, as you've heard throughout the show, I've been progressively feeling worse and sounding a lot worse. What a night here.
If this keeps up, we may have a solo podcast because you actually may not make it.
You're telling me, knock on wood here. Where can we find you on the Twitter machine, Brad?
At the VOTV podcast, Voices of the Voiceless. I run our Twitter account. Add me, follow me. Hey, we've got over 1,000 followers. We lose a few every time I post something stupid, but that's life. So follow me, add me, DM me, quote me, retweet me, all the tweeter stuff you can do. And subscribe to our podcast, rated 5 stars. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Fisher Wrestling. That's Fisher Wrestling on Twitter. That's it. Any last words? Well, actually, you should be asking me that.
Oh, boy. Well,
I have some last words for you.
Okay.
Actually, it's more of a tune.
I can only imagine.
Actually, here, hold on. the Chris Benoit entrance music, but I decided against it.
Oh boy. Well, you know,
That would have been crude. It would have been crude.
No more crude than yelling out Chris Benoit at a live event.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I thought it was funny. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. You were just pissing off the people around. Now, granted, this is a live show where the guy right near you is getting drunk and throwing up on the floor and had to be kicked out. And there's a woman with a boyfriend hitting on another woman in front of us, and all kinds of. It's just, you know, welcome to the WWE.
It was a whole bunch of porn flakes. And I'll let this play out for everybody. You have a wonderful night.